Right, it's Wednesday morning and I woke up this morning for the second morning in a row and found the boat was on the bottom. The pound level had dropped overnight. I was just below the summit, and so I've decided to move on even though the weather forecast wasn't too brilliant today. I managed to get the boat floating. I've come down through one lock and I'm just at the next lock, which is 39, but I've run into a problem because the pound that I'm in is a bit low, and so the boat is sitting out like that because the back end is on the bottom. I've been filling this lock up, but I went to check the next pound, which is very short. There's a series of locks, 5 in very short order along here, and it doesn't look good now, but it looks an awful lot better than it did when I arrived, because I've been running some water down into this area. It's still difficult to maneuver through here because I can't get into the sides. You can see the wooden posts for mooring on the right hand side, but I can't get there and get off safely. So to go through this pound, what I'd have to do is, when I start emptying this lock where I'm standing, I'd have to go down and start filling the next lock and then open a gate so that I can cruise straight from one lock to the other without having to stop on the sides. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to take about 50,000 gallons out of this stretch, and I'm not comfortable about that. So I've spoken to the CRT and I'm waiting for them to call me back. But what I'm going to do is, assuming I can, is haul the boat in here into this lock, tie up in the lock, and just wait, see if I can get some assistance. I don't want to take any more water down from above because there was a boat moored opposite me this morning and I don't want to have him left stranded as well. So I think I want to get some professional help on this. Right, so let's see if I can shift that boat now. Here we are in the pound between lock 38, 39, actually 39 and 40, beg pardon. As you can see, the water level is very, very low, and so I'm going at just about tick over speed, trying not to stir anything up on the bottom. I've just come out of the lock there. The CRT man has just turned up and he's going to see about bringing more water down, but at least we've made this gap. Had a bit of trouble with this lock gate, it wouldn't stay open. Oh, we're going to hit the wall. Oh, thud. Well, nudge it anyway, but not elegant. Yes, I couldn't get the lock gate to stay open, it kept swinging shut. So I managed to find a great lump of an old mooring post that was lying at the side there, and I lugged that into place and propped the gate open with it. I need to come to a halt. This is punch bowl lock. So now I should be able to step off the boat, and there's my gate prop. That was surprisingly heavy to move, actually. Whew, right, okay, we'll see what happens next. Well, we're getting on through the afternoon, and I've had some assistance from 2 guys from the Canal and River Trust, and they helped me through several locks. I just about figured out one of them. I managed to creep through the very low pound, and now I'm in a lock which I remember well from last November, because it's an old mill building here. There's mill buildings next to all the locks along here. This one's still in use, but this pound last November was just about empty, and that lock, you can see the next lock just there. I had great difficulty creeping across here and went into the lock, which is pretty deep. They're all deep along here, and because the water was so low, the boat got stuck on the bottom of the lock inside. So I remember I had to climb up the ladder at the far end and walk all the way around to fill the lock up again. Still, hopefully it's going to go a bit smoother today. It's Saturday morning, and a very sunny Saturday morning at that, and I've decided it's time to move on from Todmorden. So I can't go that far, although the summit level is now open after being closed for over a week. There is a blockage on the other side of the summit before we get to Manchester, which isn't going to be fixed quickly, so wherever I get to I'm going to be waiting, but I thought I'd wait somewhere different. I've just come up through one lock. I'm at Gauxholme, I think that's pronounced, Gauxholme lowest lock, and it takes its name from the fact that there used to be a mill here, Gauxholme Mill, and I suspect it was where those modern houses are, just up there by the lock. My first target today is about 1¼ miles, which doesn't sound much, but there are 8 locks for the first part to get to a water point, and in that 1¼ miles there used to be 6 different mills, all gone now, unfortunately, though the houses that house the workers are still here. And I've just noticed there's a whole load of beehives up there on the hill. Some lovely houses around here with brilliant views over valleys, and there's the magnificent railway bridge with the battlements on it. They like to do that around here. And back down there is Lock 21. I've just spent 9 days just the other side of it. So there's this little flurry of locks along here, and unfortunately another boat went through at 8:30 this morning before I was ready to move. So I'm meeting full locks everywhere, and you can see the next lock is just there. If I've got a lot of locks to do, I prefer them to be this close together, because then the boat's in this lock now. I've just closed the gate and I'm going to gently start filling the lock, and while it's filling I'll go up to the next one there and empty it and open the gate, so that it's all ready and I don't have to stop in between locks. So that does save me a bit of time and effort. Well, I've gone through half of the locks that I need to get to the next water point at the far end of Todmorden. So that was 4 locks done, so 4 more to go. I can top up with water and then decide how I feel then, whether I'm going to go on any further today or take it as a gentle introduction before I go up over the summit tomorrow. I've just passed the workboat that came past me on Thursday, so it hasn't got very far, and that's on its way to the damaged lock on the other side of the summit. So until they get there, they can't dam the canal and drain the area that's failed and investigate it, so we're still going to be waiting a while to know what can be done. In the meantime, this is really lovely here. These houses going off up the hills. It really is a very pleasant place when the sun's shining. And it's not that bad when it wasn't shining when I came through in December. And we're in a valley because you have the big hills on the other side too. Right, so I think just around this bend, this is bridge 32. Yes, so just around this curve is the next lock. So on we go. Just going to tell you where I am and why I'm here, what's going on. You can see the boats in the background. I'm trying to position myself now so we can see it. There we go. And I'm at Littleborough on the Rochdale Canal. Now you can see that I'm in the middle of a long line of boats, you will in a moment, stretching down to the next lock. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 of us here at the moment, and the reason we're all here is we're waiting for a broken lock to be fixed further down the canal. It's about 13 miles away, and we're 15 miles from central Manchester, maybe 16, but there is a lock near Oldham which has been quite seriously broken, and we're not going to be able to get through it. We're going to get some more news this afternoon about how the repairs are going, but I've been here a couple of weeks now. The reason that we've all chosen to stop here at Littleborough part is you can see directly opposite there's a water point and L-sand disposal, so we've got some services. There's no rubbish disposal here, but we're also on the town of Littleborough, which is quite handy because it has a railway station and bus links into places like Rochdale, Manchester, Halifax, and shops, including a very nice butcher's where I got some very nice things from yesterday. So yes, the sill under the gates on the lock broke some time ago. It's lock 72, and that's a serious fault. It's not a trivial repair. They've had to drain a section of the lock, put dams in, and sort it all out. The boat opposite, that's a permanent mooring. He's there all the time. And back up there is the summit where I've come down, which you would have seen previously. That was a difficult trip, as everything is on the Rochdale Canal, because of shortages of water and hard, mechanisms that are hard to maneuver and so on and so forth. But well, it's been a rest here, I suppose. Very good towpath here as well, which is a plus and a minus. When the towpath's in good condition like this, it means when it rains we're not splashing around in mud. On the other hand, sorry, just somebody walking by. Yes, on the other hand, such a good towpath attracts cyclists who travel at quite some speed. And a family on the boat just behind me, one of their dogs was injured when he was knocked over by a bicycle. Oh, and there's a train going into the station. The railway line's very close, but it's not noisy. It's small electric trains. And I'm going to be here a bit longer, even after the canal clears, probably, because I would expect sometime next week we'll be able to use that lock again. But I have to go and have a medical procedure, a little investigation, and because my doctor is in Hampshire, it can only be done, apparently, within their health region. So although it's over 200 miles away, I've been told very firmly that that's the only place they can do it. So next week I have to hire a car and drive down there and do the procedure, take Flan with me. It's all very inconvenient, but I was just thinking this morning, I don't know what I shall say if I get there and they say, sorry, there's been a problem with the program and can you come back in 2 days? Right, anyway, that's where we are and why we're here. I've been here just over 2 weeks now, so it's going to be 3 weeks by the time I move on, I would imagine, which is not bad. As I say, it's a useful little place, Littleborough, and then we'll head on to Manchester and thence on to Liverpool, which is still the plan.